I just made a very big change and I'm in a transition. And one thing which I realized and recalled from my past experience and learnings is that when you change the role in a big way, you also need to change yourself. You need to act in a different way. You need to imagine and embrace the new role. If you don't do that, you might actually fail in your new role and then fall back. And it's a real danger. But to give you a very concrete example what I mean, let's say that you are accountant, for instance. You specialize in calculating finance and so on, and that's what you do majority of your time, and that's what you are best at. And suddenly, let's say that you become a manager, and suddenly your role is not about doing the specific tasks yourself, but it's actually enabling the whole team and grow as a team, grow other people, lead, inspire, and so on. What does it mean? That means that you have to think differently. You need to think differently on many, many levels. When you get something, what needs to be done, how do you delegate it? How do you get things done not necessarily by yourself or not even primarily not by yourself? So this kind of things, if you then don't change, and change is not easy because of course, we all fall back into default because default feels comfortable, default feels secure. And then if we have to do things in a new way, one, it feels very uncomfortable. It might feel that it's impossible. It might actually not work even a few times when you try it because you are learning how to do those things. But it's very, very important to recognize that we need to change the role in our mind about ourselves. And one another thing is that we might even don't realize that we haven't changed the role in our mind. So we might think that we act in a new way, but we act in a previous way because we think that's the only way, and that's necessary in this particular case. So what I do, for example, now, I have to consciously a couple of times per week reflect on, okay, what I am actually doing. Why do I do what I do? Is it because I fall back to my default, or it's actually necessary? And not only if I fall back to the default, but am I missing something from the new role which I should do more of and I don't? And that is very, very important to reflect consciously, because otherwise you just might fail. And the best example, the most kind of maybe extreme example, is, let's say, when you go from engineering to sales, it's whole to more commercial. But it's just one example. So yeah, I thought I will share this advice because I've seen that challenge for myself a couple of times in the past, because as you change roles, you need to do it again and again. If you succeeded from one role to another in the past, doesn't mean you don't have the same challenges when you go from this role to the next role. And I've seen also other people who actually don't reflect on it consciously and they get stuck. They can't move forward, they can't develop in the new roles which they have, or they can't develop to get the new roles. So I thought it might be useful for some of you.